Well, welcome everybody to the 2019 Rams NHRU Grand Final here at number 2 Sports Ground, the home of rugby union in the Newcastle Hunter area. And of course, it's big times for rugby around the world at the moment. The World Cup is on, but none bigger than here right in Newcastle in the Rams NHRU Grand Final with Hamilton taking on Wanderers. Hamilton going for 5 in a row here to break the record in the competition. I'll tell you what, who's not breaking any records? He's not a broken record. He's right on song. Jared Ryan. How are you, Jared? Here for the grand final. It's been a big year of NHRU, but this game is going to be absolutely massive.
Yeah, good afternoon, Gareth, and welcome to everybody all around the valley, all around the world, and tuning in. You've mentioned the World Cup, the international game, and this game this afternoon's got quite an international feel to it.
It certainly has.
A number of imports from both sides.
Yeah, it certainly has. It certainly has. We're live, as you can see, on the Elders Insurance camera for all our viewers around the world. Of course, Elders Insurance, massive sponsors of the Hamilton Hawks, and indeed this final series as well, with the president of the club, Brett Sutherland, over in Japan at the moment at the World Cup. So special shout out to him, who's watching in at a whiskey bar in Japan. Well, anyway, let's get to the game. Of course, people watching all over the world on the Kings of Live Stream Media, Bar TV Sports. Let's get to these two teams. There's been a couple of toing and froing during the week. The big news is Tweedy Assey is in the side. Liam Bowden played that second-grade fixture. He adds a lot of starch. Supposed to go to Spain. He's going to be here in the big dance. And do you think he's going to make a massive difference? Or do you think the likes of Ben Ham, Dan Kevill playing together again this week? Do you think that is going to be the big difference in this match? What are your thoughts, Jared?
Well, you know, all the talk leading up over the last few weeks for that first round of the finals was delayed for a week. It was how much it was going to upset the teams. Both teams were going to lose a number of players, but there's been a little coercion over at the Seven Seas to keep Assey here in town for the big one, I'm told. But
the sunny side.
The sunny. No, it was the Seven Seas.
Oh, the Seven Seas.
So I've got a little bit inside mail there, but yeah, I'm pleased to see both teams at full strength, and the battle in the forwards is going to be enormous. I've been out and had a look at them. Mentioned the other week about how relaxed Scott Coleman is. He's out there doing handstands and throwing headgear on and tackling under sevens, but the calmest coach, and of course congratulations to him. He got the Coach of the Year, which an amazing effort from the Hamilton side. All three teams into the grand final, and of course they're 0 from 2 so far today.
Yeah, massive effort. Of course, the Hamilton Hawks, as we said, going for 5 in a row. There's been players out there that have been in all 5. There's new players to the teams. Players like Zach Sykes, who's come into the side, came from, I guess, Manly via Merriweather, thought, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot in the best club in the competition. He's proved himself. He's playing halfback up against another young halfback in Sinclair George, who, for me, has become the best halfback in the competition.
Well, Sykes has been phenomenal since he's came into this side, and he doesn't overplay his hand. Makes sure he gets plenty of early ball to share it. The maestro, the master as we call him, the magician even, we've gone as far to say. But yeah, I'm with you. Sinclair George, he's been outstanding. He's had a fantastic year, and that's just going to be another interesting battle on the park this afternoon.
Yeah, both sides fairly matched all across the park. You know, you look at the front row, it is, you know, the veterans in Pete Maxwell, Chris Ale, Geraint Weaver, Blair Rush, Dave Waller, Alex Reid, a younger front row. Hamilton, as we know, have been dominant the entire season, so to speak, in the scrum, in the set piece, even line-outs as well. So that's somewhere where Wanderers, they would have worked on a lot on this week.
They certainly would have worked on a lot, and you know, I got a close-up look at them, and the experience in the Hamilton side is just, it's off the charts. They've got I wouldn't like to think how many games, first-grade games, in that first-grade pack. They are just so controlled and composed, as we often speak about. The way they play the game, they're just patient. And that's the thing that the Wanderers, the Two Blues, are going to have to do this afternoon. Of course, you mentioned Dan Kevill and Ben Ham, the sheepdogs. Ralph and Fred, they're together today, and I'm looking very forward to them. But they've got to do what Hamilton do and keep their composure in that tight and control the football. That's the big key.
Yeah, you mentioned the two big players, but take nothing away from this young back row as well from the Wanderers side. Jack Johnson-Holmes, Sam Schmidt, and even Piers Morrell last week. They were absolutely amazing against that Maitland side. They really stepped up in the absence of Ham, and we'll see. We'll see if they can step up again here today.
And they'll have to. They'll have to take it to another level, as we know, to match the Hawks. But
Joe Ackersdyke the week before, he's run 90 metres to stop a try as well.
Phenomenal for a 45-year-old. But our good mate Jimmy Gardner at the Herald, of course, had a big article on Piers Morrell. Don't worry about Piers. He was the footings and foundations for this Two Blues side against the Blacks last week. He was outstanding.
Well, we can see on the screens now Ben Ham leading this Wanderers side out onto the field. A look of intensity on their faces as they come onto the pitch. You see Dave Waller there, we mentioned him, and there is the veteran Luke Simmons. Plenty of grand finals. And here comes a lot of the bench as well. David Swain, the Merrier of the Motelia.
Yeah, young Liam Dalabozic there as well on the bench. I'm sure he'll get a run. He's an excitement machine.
I expect him, especially if they're down and they're looking for points, he'll be certainly injected into this game. But I mean, you look at the back three for Hamilton, particularly Sorelli Bainivalu. This is his time of year. This is where he shines. I think he's all-time leading record scorer over finals, as we see now. The Hamilton Hawks leading out the juniors there. Steve Lamont, the captain. And there's Tommy Coupe under an injury crowd all year, and he's come back into this side. And there he is, the veteran. Mr. CrossFit himself, Chopper Maxwell.
Well,
they said before Backridge came off, and they threw me a dummy and said it's Pensioners' Day down at Marketown, so he was going to skip the warm-up.
We spoke about Maxwell 2 weeks ago, and he did smoke the ham, and he smoked him twice. He was double smoked by the end of the day. The old stager, and I'm sure he'll have a target on him again today. That's just part of that experience in the pack, and they're just a phenomenal forward pack.
Yeah, certainly Ham's going to want to bring the chutney this week. If he's any shape, he did get absolutely targeted and got the better of him a couple of weeks ago, but he is the captain out there. Louis Nelson is the referee, and you can see on your shots here by Bar TV Sports, the kings of live stream media. It's as good as you'll get anywhere in the world here at number 2 Sports Ground today. Yeah, and of course, big shout out to our friends watching in Hawaii as well. I know there's the Sutherland females are over there. The Hamilton Hawks, a matriarchy over in Hawaii at the moment. There's people all over Europe watching.
While we're giving shout-outs, I'd like to give you one, Gareth, the voracious voice of the Valley, as you're known as, and we're talking about Hamilton going for 5 today. This is your 6th, is it not, grand final?
Yeah, number 6 in a row, so one thing I'm better than Bubba Coleman at is grand finals.
Oh.
Plenty of people out there watching in at home as well.
If
you are watching in, let us know where you're watching, how you're watching, because it's going to be an absolute cracker.
So I've got to ask you before the kick-off, Gareth, what's your call? Who's going to win this big one today?
Well, I think it's going to be one in the 10 position. I think that's the only place Hamilton are probably superior over their opposition in Dane Sherritt, and I think it's going to be won by Dane Sherritt. I think Wanderers probably have to score over 30 points to be any chance here today.
And I can't remember anybody scoring 30 points against this Hamilton side in the last 5 years.
Well, they are the only side that's beaten them in the regular season, Wanderers, this year.
Yeah.
As we see them out there shaking hands.
Yeah, well, that'll be the last of the niceties of the hostilities about to start. But, very much looking forward to this one. It's a beautiful sunny afternoon with a bit of a southerly buster blowing, probably worth a few points in that.
Yeah, and Wanderers, I was down there for the toss earlier on. Wanderers won the toss. They chose to kick. Hamilton running towards the junction, the Marketown end. Wanderers running towards the junction end. You can see the pack down there. You can see Blair Rush. Look at him. His eyes are rolling around in his head.
They rolled back on Thursday night at the start of training, apparently. A bit a la Shane Brumby, as it used to happen. His eyes rolled back on a Thursday night, never came back till Sunday. But, yeah, no, he's full of intensity. And he's pumped after a week off. He missed the game, of course, controversially last week against the Blacks, but he's back, he's pumped, and he's ready to go.
You see Louis Nelson, his first grade grand final, so big effort by the Specsavers referee out there today.
Yeah, major sponsors, the Specsavers, and big shout out to the girls at Salamander. Thank you for all the birthday wishes yesterday.
And here we go, we're moments away for the kick-off here. Luke Simmons will be doing the duties, as he's done so throughout his impeccable career. They are running left to right on your screen. The Wanderers in the 2 blue up against the defending premiers, the Hamilton Hawks. They've been the standout side all season. As we go now to the middle, and it's showtime here in the Rams NHRU Grand Final. As we see Assey taking them on. That's a very good hit straight away. A little box kick there by Zach Sykes. Zach Sykes gets it down. Tim Marsh, Simmons now. Simmons looking to counter-attack and met by Ackersdyke leading the chase, the veteran. He manages to get his body around the ball. Now here's Reid. Reid been one of their dominant, one of their best throughout this semi-final series. He tucks it under and goes straight, as he will all day, Jared.
Yeah, Reid, he's been strong.
As is this man Ashworth, 5 tries throughout the semi-finals. Offloads the ball to Ben Ham, and Ben Ham takes them just within the 40. Sinclair George, nice quick ball. Piers Morrell will take them up over the halfway. Here's Ashworth again, taking some early pressure off his forwards. And that one goes to Morrell, coming around the corner and trying to duck under and get around was Jack Johnson-Holmes. Good control here by the 2 Blues. Here's Simmons. Simmons trying to slice his way through on that left edge. Looking for Chase Hicks, and here's Morrell again. Morrell driven back in some good defence by the Hawks. As now they try to get up towards halfway. Good composure. Here comes Kevill. No, they go in front of him. Sherwood didn't have many options there. Goes back inside, and they're losing ground here, the 2 Blues. Ben Ham. This is good defence. A good start by both sides, Jared.
Yeah, fantastic tackle there from young Angus Brown. Shorten Ham up, but they spread it now. Wide now, the 2 Blues.
Yeah, here's Ashworth getting them over halfway. That's where they're most dominant on that left edge, the 2 Blues.
Fantastic ball control here. Alex Reid takes another hit up, makes a few metres.
Yeah, very good. And we mentioned before, we didn't get to it, but who do you like here, Jared? Who do you think's the team that's going to go through with it?
Well, as big as their task is, as Ham charges into them once again, I've got to pick and stick. I'm sticking with Wanderers, I reckon, by 3.
Well, good run there by Ham, really getting them on the front foot, and Waller comes in and he's driven back on the inside. Sherwood screaming for the ball, but great counter-rucking there by the Hawks. And now Lamont, the captain. Here comes Sherritt looking for quick early ball. Angus Brown. Zach Crowley tried to step through and jink his way over halfway.
Yeah, great defence there from Ale, the hooker for the Hamilton Hawks side.
And that's going to be the first penalty of the game.
Bit of a rough call.
So the crowd probably 50-50 here, and the lower grades, Merriweather Carlton getting on top of Hamilton, and Wanderers getting on top of Hamilton as well. So,
yeah, as we said, they're 0 from 2. They're all 3 teams in the grand final, but they're yet to taste victory this afternoon. This a fantastic opening by the 2 Blues side here. Fantastic ball control, about 15 phases there. The Hawks have hardly touched the ball. As Simmons with a good touch finder there takes them down to the 22.
Yeah, good kick there by Simmons. The line out. They're just going to control the tempo here. Speaking to Dan Beckett earlier on the set piece, try to get Hamilton off the ball. They go for the back option. Lovely work there off the back by the 2 Blues. Reid comes on the inside. Good run by Alex Reid.
Yeah, another great
He's
charge.
Really come of age last few weeks, hasn't he, Alex Reid?
He's been enormous for the 2 Blues. One of their best a fortnight ago when these 2 teams last matched up. But we've got our first chance at points here. And, yeah, Simmons has taken the ball.
Yeah, good option there. He missed one last week from about 15 attempts. So he was on fire last week, Simmons.
He was good last week.
But there's a bit more breeze here today, as you said. It's swirling around. It's blown us in from Nelson Bay.
There's certainly a few points in it.
Ben Hand comes to the sideline. Looked like there may be a problem, an issue down there. No, he's only going for some water.
So the sharpshooter, first call of the day, Gareth.
I think for sure he's going to put the 2 Blues in front.
For all money. And points will be a premium. As they said, they're going to need at least 25 to 30 points.
Yeah, I think 30 points. Otherwise, Hamilton probably disadvantaged, playing second grade. Their bench isn't going to be as fresh. So if they can stick with them till then, they might be a chance. But for me, I think Hamilton, they deserve to be favourites here as the two Blues come in. Oh, he's missed it. He shanked it. I put the mocker on him.
Well, you put the mocker on him, but it's pressure in a grand final. That's what it does to the best of them. And he's missed his first chance at points.
He certainly has. Shout out to Wilson up on Broadbeach, watching in his luxury apartment. As that one bounces, finds some turf. Good restart there. And Chase Hicks, one of the danger men for the two Blues in the midfield. He's accounted for nicely. Sherwood looking for an inside runner, finds Reed. Reed again doing his job. Oh, coming in is Assey, and yeah, penalty there.
Yeah, referee got that one right. Something we didn't speak about. It's an enormous bonus for the Hawks side. They were missing Chris Hale a fortnight ago, and he's back today, and he's already got one turnover.
Yeah, we'll see Assey on the replay from Bandlaw there, just coming in from the side, and yeah, fair penalty there by Nelson. He's got a cool head on him. Been plenty of talk about the cards given out this season. And that one flat into the arms there of Sam Schmidt. He's driven backwards and Hamilton come up with it. Yeah. So now they go over to Angus Brown. Angus Brown, not the best pass to Vasagotti. Tries to get outside Keogh, and Keogh, very good defender, drives him towards the sideline.
Yeah, intense start here from both sides.
Back to Sherritt. Sorry, as you're saying, intense start.
Yeah, the breakdown, the contest at the breakdown is just fierce.
Well, here comes Morrell with a bit of room down the short side. Very good counter-rucking, and it's been played all in the midfield here. It's now Kevill. He's lining up now to take a run. Hill lines him up and comes to drive into the tackle. I saw Hill coming from about 15 metres away there.
Yeah, I think the Devil saw him too. He's got him held up though, struggling to get to ground.
Yeah, good work by Hill, the Scotsman. Of course, the family listening in.
Fantastic strength.
Yeah, very good tackle there. That shows all his experience, you know. He's played Scottish Premier League, he's played Heineken Cup level, so definitely coming over here and making a massive impact in this second half of the season for this Hamilton Hawks side.
He certainly is. He's a mountain of a man. And we've spoken about his silky skills before, but he's a force to be reckoned with, and he shortened Kevill up, kept him up, and got the turnover for the Hawks. Fantastic play from the big man.
He timed it perfectly too, didn't he? Came in and was acting as that shooter, and Kevill had nowhere to go that time. So it's going to be a Hamilton Hawks feed midway or midfield in the park. And this is a good scrum by the two Blues. Would have thought maybe they may have been more dominant. So Sykes now to Sherritt. Inside to Vasagotti. Vasagotti picked off nicely.
Yeah, great tackle there from Schmidt. Get him on, come back inside.
And that one goes back. And Brown again. Now looking for Crowley. Crowley. And this defence by Wanderers, we saw it last week against Maitland. That side-to-side shuffle that they do. It's not that they wait for them, they shoot up, and it's very hard to get around them at the moment.
Yeah, they're going to have to produce it all afternoon, but that was fantastic defence there, takes them into touch. Young Chase Hicks, he's been outstanding with the football and also defensively over the last few weeks. He's come to life in the finals.
Yeah, the grand final haircut too. Oh, a little short ball to Keogh, thought it may have gone forward. Doesn't matter because Hill's come up with it. Hill throws the dummy, now goes to Crowley. Crowley. He's wrapped up by Marshall coming across with Schmidt. So now Hamilton with their first opportunity. Here's Ali. Chris Ali. Goes to Sherritt, has Brown on the inside, goes across the face of Nagy. Can't handle it.
Yeah, Lamont's spilt that one. Referee's playing advantage here.
He's called it back for the knock-on. And you can hear the crowd here. It's loud, it's buzzing. The Rams NHRU, they'd be very happy with this turnout here today.
Yeah, fantastic crowd, bulging at the seams. They were about 50 deep 5 minutes before kick-off at the gate, swarming into the ground.
The NHRU want to thank its major sponsor for 2019 Rams home loans.
The broadcast partners in the Titan Group, the Street Property Scoreboard, reading 0-0 at the moment. And all the replays coming through live from Bandlaw. As you can see the crowd there. What a lovely day out it is at number 2.
Yeah.
Where else would you be?
Well, I'd rather be nowhere else other than sitting beside you, of course, Gareth. But no, been an intense start, cracking opening 10 minutes, and the crowd is massive, and as you said, about even. It's probably 50-50, both clubs well represented on the sidelines.
Well, third grade as well. Won by Wanderers earlier on against Hamilton, so they've stuck around, celebrating a victory.
Sykes now to feed the scrum.
Be interesting to see what they do here, or they walk it forward. Hill.
Yeah, they've buckled them.
And in behind Mackay. Oh, stripped away. Here goes Tim Marsh. Oh, he's brought it back for the advantage.
He was away.
Louis Nelson, I tell you what, they were not going to catch them. He's got his jet shoes on today, Jared.
Yeah, well, we know he's the quickest man in the competition. He had nothing but daylight in front of him. And
second quickest after Joe Ackersdyke.
Well, yeah, well, that's right. I'd like to see a sprint off, a time trial between the two of them, but that's a big call from the ref there. Marsh was away and certain to score under the sticks, but he's pulled it back, and it was probably an infringement at the scrum. The Hawks just buckled them there in that last scrum.
The first couple of scrums looks like they've gone to the old rope-a-dope and just got Wanderers with a false sense of security, and then they just went for it, didn't they, then?
Yeah, well, they may have lulled them, as you say, into a false sense of security, because the first couple of scrums were fairly even, but they certainly got the better of them in that last one. Pressure now on the two Blues front row.
So Sykes with the feed, and again Hill, good control of the back. Oh, he goes without it that time.
And he's knocked it on.
Yeah, knock on, and it's pulled up accordingly.
Yeah, only the slightest, but it was a knock-on clear, and the ref's got that one right again. So,
well, you saw that little channel in between the half and 5'8" there as they crept forward as the scrum went forward, and just couldn't go with it.
He got a bit excited, the big fella, as you say.
He may have put the sun cream on today.
Well, I hope so for his
hands
sake.
are slippery.
Well, he's got to learn an Australian lesson there. He's got to get somebody else to put the sunscreen on for him, Gareth.
Yeah.
All right, so a relief there for the two Blues, and they've got the scrum feed here through Sinclair George. The Hawks applying enormous pressure to that front row, but Ham done well. Sherwood out to Keogh now.
Yeah, Keogh. Good bustling run again by Keogh. He places the ball back. Now in front, Chase Hicks. Chase Hicks with a bit of space. Chase Hicks gets his palm out. Oh, he's taken from behind. He's still going. He gets back up. On the edges, they look so dangerous here, the two Blues, as Kevill.
Shortened up by Nagy there in a fantastic tackle as it goes out to Blair Rush on the charge.
Blair Rush now, he'll do that all day. Oh, he's held on to the ball. That was pretty quick, wasn't it, there by Nelson?
Yeah, well, he never gave him much time at all. But he's got the he's got the P, he's got the whistle, and he's the one like.
We see on the replay there. He just was over for the ball. In any case,
Lamont
looks like they've taken the option to take the kick for touch here. Yeah, Lamont so dominant over the ball. He has been for so many years. Oh, what a kick by Sherritt. That is unbelievable. Used the wind to his advantage. You can see on the flag with the touchy there. They're 10 metres out. And this is where they destroy you, the Hawks.
Yeah, the mercurial 5'8" from the Hawks. He's come up with a raking touch finder there. Ali now the throw in.
Oh, in off the back. Nicely won by Hill. It's knocked down by Kevill.
And here they
He's got his big arm over, but this is where they're so patient, the Hamilton Hawks.
Yeah. Two Blues under pressure. They're going to have to come up with A-grade defence to keep them out.
Yeah, good run there by Assi. Assi should be in Spain right now. But he's put on his back at number 2. Here comes Ali. Good driving run. Sherritt content to let his forwards take all the work here. They pick and drive. They're going to be close as they keep going. Louis Nelson right there. He's held up.
He got over the line, but held up. Fantastic defence there from the two Blues.
Yeah, they did it last week as well. They were peppered on their line, and somehow they come up with it there. You can see on the replay from our sideline camera, everybody underneath it. You can't see much but bodies.
Certainly can't see the ball, but the refs come up with the correct call there. But again, pressure maintained. Fantastic work. 6 or 7 phases there. Great defence, but the Hamilton Hawks, that's the composure again we speak about. Relentless.
Well, this is a big, big moment here for this Wanderers pack. 5 metres out, attacking scrum by the Hawks.
Yeah, acid test now, 15 minutes into this grand final, and all the pressure on the two Blues front row.
Yeah, you can see the Hawks. Oh, they've lost it.
Oh,
it's a penalty.
No.
I don't know about that.
No, well, we'll have to have a look at the Bandler replay to have a judgment on that, but yeah, I'm not real sure on that one myself, Gareth.
You can see here they're down, and I think it may have been. I think that was just kicked through by the Hamilton hooker.
Yeah, that's exactly what I see. The ref now. Have we got him mic'd up today? That's the interesting.
We have got him mic'd up.
To hear that call, what it was for. But the two Blues, they came back there in the scrummaging department. That was a great scrum.
Yeah, certainly they got down low, and Harley, I think it was, just got his knee in the way, trying to get the better of the two. This is a better scrum by the Hawks. This is what they would have wanted on the first effort, as now they drive forward. Here they come, Hill controlling it, Sherritt calling for it, steps off the right, gets the palm out and gets the first try here in the Rams 2019 NHRU Grand Final.
Yeah, the magician, he's come up with the goods, the Hamilton defence all sliding left, and he's thrown the big show and go.
Something's happened to someone down there. As we look here, look at the step, and he's so dangerous that far out. He's got options both sides. Looks like he may have hurt himself though. And this is no good. He hasn't moved at all.
The medical staff attending to him does not look good.
We'll get a look at it with our sideline camera. But if you look here,
didn't look anything in the tackle.
No, it didn't. Oh,
Keogh's come over the top.
I think he's a tough boy, Sherritt. We know his family's watching in from South Africa. He may have just accidentally got the knee. I don't think it was intentional. But
no, there was a bit of a reaction there from Brown. Angus Brown's in the face of Keogh, having words there, as we can see.
Zach Sykes went over to him straight away to see what was happening.
But as we speak about his skills, he's only a little fella, but he's as hard as nails. So, yeah, he's just caught one there from Keogh. It'll be interesting to see the referee's decision here. Both touch judges in.
Yeah, we might try and get a listen.
Nothing. Any shots?
Gone to the camera.
He's gone to the camera. He could have just come to the commentary box. If you can see out there, the touch judge talking on your screen behind to the cameraman with the still shots. Jeez, it's not 1945, boys.
Yeah, well, he's gone for a look. But, as we say, interesting. This is going to be very interesting. And
for me, I think grand final, he was coming across in cover, but I don't think he should spend time in the bin. Let's hope sanity prevails here, Jared.
Well, I'm with you, yeah. Keep the cheese in your pocket this afternoon. We want to see 15 against 15 for the whole 80 minutes. But I don't think there was too much in it. But Sherritt getting tended to by the medical staff. Like the rest of the Hamilton Hawks, set up, very professional and on the job. So they'll be doing their best to get him back in the game here.
We'll have a look at it again and we'll slow it down if we can. Get a bit of frame by frame. Look at that. That's a good step. That's as good as you'll see anywhere.
Yeah.
Gets the palm out. As we come across here, yeah, he just copped a knee to the head. But for me, I think it was unintentional.
Watching it in real time, I've got to go with you. I mean, it always gets a bit hard when you slow it down. You've got to play as the players suit in front of them, live and at full pace. I don't think there was too much in it, but there could be repercussions both ways here, with Sherritt still getting tended to. Really hasn't moved at all. Calling now for the Medicab, which does not look good. We hope he's going to be okay. A little bit of movement now. He's got his knees up. The medical staff still tending to him, but not a good look now that with the Medicab going out here at number 2.
Well, they've got a very good replacement, very handy replacement in Connor Mulhern, who plays 10 for them. He's played quite a few games with Sherritt, has a couple of niggling injuries throughout the year. He's a former country player, good, solid young kid, come through the Colts program at Hamilton Hawks. So if he does get replaced, which it does look like he is going to, with the Wanderers golf cart out there.
Yeah, well, they're every position covered. The Hamilton side, we know how strong they are. Club champions, 3 grades in here at the grand final today, and of course, the quality replacements right across the park.
Yeah, he's got a very good young head on his shoulders, Mulhern, and probably doesn't run it as much as I guess what Sherritt would like to do, or does, but certainly a very good distributor for his outside backs. So it will change a little bit how this Hamilton side plays. Certainly not as vocal as what a Sherritt would be out there.
Well, he just controls them so well. He controls the forwards, he controls the backs, he controls their whole game. So that's certainly going to be a disadvantage to the Hamilton Hawks. But what may be the big call now is what the referee's going to come up with.
You see Tommy Coupe out there on the side. And of course, Tom Coupe last year winning the man of the match, the medal out there. So he's on the bench. He's a good handy replacement to have for the Hawks.
Yeah, there's Liam Bowden there as well coming into picture. There's a couple of quality loose forwards right there. But they're not on their feet to replace the number 10. As you say, young Mulhern looks like the likely replacement.
Yeah, he's given the thumbs up to the desk down there, the official desk. This is not good for young Dane Sherritt. We'll try and get some information on this at half-time sent up to us. Of course, not just...
Always our first concern is the players' welfare, and as you say, it doesn't look good, but he's sitting up now, which is a fantastic sign.
Yeah, good sign. He's going to have to come to the sideline and get assessed anyway, you'd think, being ahead, not being that blue card rule.
Yes, definitely.
Which, of course, they've successfully trialled in the Rams NHRU over the last couple of seasons. And in any case, it'll be interesting to see who takes his kick.
Yeah, well, that's another thing. He's good with the ball in hand. He's fantastic defence, but his kicking.
It's his kicking, isn't it?
Yeah,
not just in general play, but
no, his goal kicking's what, 96.3 or something
yeah,
at
so
this
I think
stage of the
up
year.
to 98%.
But yeah, we spoke about the 2 Blues kicker and Simmons. He's fantastic, but Sherritt, that's another loss. There's just another part of his game that the Hamilton Hawks are going to miss here.
One of the big things, I guess, that you have to take out of this match is that Hamilton have only played 1 game in 6 weeks. So will that affect them? I know they've done plenty away from the football field.
Yeah,
but it's not. They have helped a couple of the older bodies with their niggles. You know, you've got your Joe Ackers-Dykes, your Pete Maxwells, and Lamont.
Yeah, well,
even Chris Nagy could probably fall into that category now.
The second best mow in the NHRU.
Second best mow in the NHRU.
No, but I'm sure Bubba's had them ticking over and keeping miles in their legs, but there's nothing like game time. And as you say, that's not a lot of football in 6 weeks.
Well, Zach Sykes looks like he's going to take over. Never seen Zach kick.
Well, as Sherritt now...
We might have to... I can see Stacey, his father over there, former Merewether Carlton coach.
Well, I could nearly...
We might have to ask him and see how he goes.
I could nearly guarantee you Face didn't teach him how to kick. But no, Sherritt is now on the Medicab. So quite a long delay here. Very concerned for the South African number 10 for the Hamilton Hawks. A lot of concern out there by the medical staff.
Yeah, South African. They'd like to claim him as a Hamilton junior, but they certainly can't. Our thoughts go out to him because he certainly is the big cog. We said it before the kickoff. He is the cog that holds this together. He potentially was going to be the difference in this game, scoring the first try. You can see we were on the money there, but this is a big, big blow to the Hamilton Hawks. Take nothing away from the kid coming on.
It's a massive blow, and it looks at this stage like the referee's not going to take any further action. So Keogh gets away with that one. Not that we thought there was a lot in it, but Yeah, massive repercussions for the Hamilton Hawks side and the game of football in itself, because we know what he brings to the game. He's just he's a magician, as we call him, and we just hope he's okay. As we say, we'll try and get a report on him at half-time and let all the family know back home. But the amount of concern for him, I'm highly unlikely to come back.
You see the trainer there, the thumbs are up. The Wanderers come out to try and chase the kick, and Zach Sykes, his first kick in first grade is an absolute belter. Under all sorts of pressure there, the Wanderers are out chasing it, and Zach Sykes, cool head as he has behind the scrum. He does well, and the Hawks now on the Street Property scoreboard, 7 points to 0.
Yeah, fantastic kick as Simmons starts play again.
So there's 20 minutes to go still on the Street Property scoreboard. And that's a good hit out in the middle. Hill rolled. And there's a bit of push and shove there out between Ben Ham and Hill, the two number 8s. Oh, he's called that a high shot. You can hear the Wanderers crowd going off. We'll get a look at this because he's had a bit of trouble with it the last couple of weeks, as Ben Ham. Yeah, we just missed it.
Yeah, rough call. But anyway, as we say, the ref's got the P. He's doing the job.
I don't think it crept up too much. It was just a good shot between two big players.
Two big men.
And that's what you want in a grand final.
That's what we're looking for.
So Mulhern with a kick. Here we go.
They're having words too.
Yeah, he just crept up and crept up off the ball. He wrapped him up, tried to get him on his back.
There's a bit of chit-chat going on out there between the two big number 8s.
Here they come. So the Hawks, they go to the back and they go to Hill again, off the top to Sykes. Mulhern with his first touch turns Angus Brown back on the inside, and Brown in his breakout season with a good run, and Nagy turned back on the inside, met by Ben Ham. He's not going to change the way he plays. Oh, good feet there by Crowley. Hasn't he got amazing feet, the fullback from Hamilton?
Yeah, fantastic footwork there.
So now Crowley goes across to Nagy. There's a bit of space outside him, but he only knows one way. Now it comes back, Mulhern under some pressure, a bit of discontinuality out there by the Hawks side.
Fantastic pressure from Hicks, and they've got the turnover and the penalty.
Yeah, definitely. Mulhern standing right behind the pocket. You'll notice when Sherritt's out there, he's a little bit to the side of the breakdown, and yeah, just a bit of lack of communication between the half and the 5'8".
Yeah, as we said, fantastic pressure from the two Blues defences. They've come up with the error there.
So this match certainly tighter than we expected early on. The Wanderers' defence has been remarkable, and the Hamilton side, well, they're ahead on the scoreboard. You can feel the momentum almost shifting now that Sherritt's off the field.
Well, you know, both teams, all 30 players out there, realise the importance of Sherritt for the Hawks side. So how much that has affected them mentally.
Off the top, oh, lovely tape by Ackerstyke. Ackerstyke, he makes 10 metres on top as well, and now the Hawks pick and drive. So calls of out by referee Nelson.
Two Blues have come up with a turnover.
Yeah, good steal, good turnover at the breakdown. Now they go forward. So the two Blues, they haven't seen inside the 22 from the Hawks yet. Here's Kevill. Kevill gets that little pop pass and can't hold it. Sam Schmidt went without it. Oh, charge down. Sherwood gets through on it, but he's going to call it back for the knock on.
Yeah, unfortunate there. Kevill trying to offload in the tight, and Schmidt just come up with the error, spilled the ball.
And the pig dog goes after it.
He's done well. I'm surprised his right arm's still on. Nearly took it off.
But, you see here in the shot replay, and he did well, didn't he? He'll chase everything down all day, Sherwood.
He'll hunt them all day. He'll hunt them till midnight. Hunt them all the way back to the sunny side if he could. Yeah, so what has been an intense opening 28 or so minutes.
So you can see down here, Crowley lined up to the left, Hill turning the scrum that way. No, they go back towards Mulhern. Mulhern's going to put it on the boot and just try and keep this Wanderers side down inside this 22, or at least inside the half. Bit of a disjointed chase there, and Brown comes up with it. Good tackle by Mulhern, picking him up. Vasagotti picking up from the breakdown. He can score from anywhere. And now Baina Valu comes in off his wing. And here's Vasagotti again. And Baina Valu, look at the two outside backs going punch, punch, punch. Now Ackersdyke. This is really good pick and drive from the Hawks side. Ali lines up for it, gets it, runs one off, keeps those legs pumping. 5 metres out now, the Hawks. Hill, here they come. Kevill turns him on his back. It looks like it could be a turnover. No, Hill takes it from the back. They're close, the Hawks. Sykes goes for it, no. Now looking for runners is Sykes. They'll reform here, the Hawks. Oh, Lamont! Lamont goes over! What a try! Just a short ball, but he ran the line perfectly, Jared.
Yeah, he hit the hole. Two Blues just couldn't keep up. Too much pressure on that line. Lamont, the captain for the Hawks, goes over for a fantastic try. Simple as you please. Keep the ball in hand. 6 or 7 phases there. Great control by the Hawks side. The Wanderers just could not come up with another tackle.
Zach Sykes, plenty of credit to a halfback there. Just took it out, threw in that first A defender, and just boom, popped a pass to Steve Lamont, the captain, the veteran.
Yeah.
They went over for their second try here, the Hamilton Hawks.
Yeah, the old stage. He hit the hole, he hit the space, and Hawks come up with a great pass, hit the right man, and he looks like he's going to remain one as a kicker in first grade, young Sykes, as Mulhern.
Mulhern took him.
Come straight on. Couldn't take the last one, of course, because he was not on the field at that stage. So.
Yeah, that's the laws, as they say.
Yeah, but, yeah, Zach Sykes, 100%, we're going to call him.
Yeah, nice, Mr. 100%er. Oh, that's a good kick there by Mulhern, and rightly so. Did he take that?
Never looked like missing.
He came off the tee a little bit better than Sykes.
So all of a sudden now, 14-0 to the Hamilton Hawks.
14-0, we've got about 8 minutes remaining.
Yep. As you say, they've got the Southerly at their back, which is probably worth about 8 to 10 points possibly this afternoon, Gareth.
And you can see there the crowd, the Hawks are loving it as their team goes ahead on the street property scoreboard. Vasagotti, good run there. That was an interesting kick-off by the two Blues. Here's Weaver. The coal miner from South Wales. Oh, he's been hit there by Keogh. Be interesting to see if anything comes of it as Simmons tries to get around.
Yeah. Nelson's going to let that one play on.
Nice.
Just a good grand final contest.
Oh, what a hit. And this is where their big players really step up. And that is a big play. Now Baina Valu. Here's Mulhern wide. Here's Assey going for the corner. Gets the palm out. Marsh too quick. Good counter-rucking there by the Wanderers. They're just hanging on to the two Blues. Zach Sykes looking for Mulhern. Hicks shoots uphill. Has a bit of space. The cracks are starting to appear in the two Blues defence.
Non-stop pressure. Refs called that one a knockback.
Goes back. Mulhern looking for wide runners. Sherwood sprints up out of the line. Tries to halt Ale in his tracks, and they do just that. Nagy comes through, and Waller gives him a little trip in back play. Here comes Assey. He's had somewhat of a quiet season over the last few weeks, especially. Keogh came in for Brown, lined him up, and here come the two Blues. Ashworth to Simmons. Has he got the pace to go all the way? Kicks it infield, and Baina Valu will sweep it up.
Yeah, the old legs.
3 years ago he's got that.
He was away,
In any case, he had no support, tried to kick it back infield to Sinclair George.
Yeah. Keogh lined him up, and Brown had a bit of a bow peep. turned it over. Simmons couldn't get there in the finish, but
well, that's a good box kick. That is unbelievable by Sykes. That's as good as you'll see. Ben Hand back there. Oh, he's going to put it on. It's good. The Sherwood luckily back there.
very lucky for the captain for the Wanderers side.
Very lucky. He would have been filthy at himself.
Not quite sure. I'm filthy at him. He shouldn't be kicking the football, Gareth. Tuck it under your arm and run, son. Rush.
Well, there's no ham analogy that can describe that one. And they come back out as the Wanderers try to settle. The game's lifted.
It was a devil of a decision, let's put it that way.
A good short ball there to Morrell. Morrell gets them back on the front foot.
Good metres by the...
Good counter-rucking though. Ackerstyke holding on. Ackerstyke really drove through on that. And unfortunately,
once again,
holding on. And you'd have to say they take the points here.
I'd say at 14-0, they definitely take the 3. But
4 minutes remaining in the half.
That's the decision. The ref pointing to the sticks. But yeah, it's just this relentless pressure from the Hawks side. They're so intense at that breakdown. They put so much pressure on the opposition, and that's where they win the game.
Yeah, certainly. It's just starving the possession from the two Blues. I mean, they've had plenty of ball, but they've had no ball over halfway here.
They've had no ball in the Hawks 22 and in attacking positions. They've had a couple of little sniffs, but haven't come up with any points. The Hawks now, Mulhern lining up.
Well, I mean, this is a bit of a testament to their defence here. The two Blues not risking coming away with nothing. The Hawks at 14-0 down.
As we say, with about 3.5 minutes to go, it's the right decision. But as you say, respect to that two Blues defence, which has been outstanding again this afternoon.
The chastity belt, they call it. Impenetrable.
Well, it's been penetrated a couple of times this afternoon already, so I don't know about that.
And that one, another good kick there by Mulhern.
Well, they've lost nothing in the kicking department with Sherritt leaving the park. Sykes 1 from 1 and young Mulhern 2 from 2 to take the Hawks out now 17-0 with 3 minutes remaining in the first half.
Yeah, certainly on that street property scoreboard you can see the Hawks starting to come away with this match.
Nelson's got a better kick than
See
Ben
the
Hand.
crowd down there as well. The cameraman enjoying it for the Bar TV sports crew.
Joey Ackerstyke
so safe.
Safe as houses.
Zach Sykes, another box kick there. Marsh comes at it. Bainavalu came through to pressure. And again, Brown up there. He's having another good game here today. Had probably a man of the match performance in the qualifying semi-final. Little flick out the back. That is not grand final football, Jared.
No, certainly not. Nagy trying to come up with the intercept there. With the
a little handoff there to Ashworth and going over the top. And the Wanderers just losing their way a little bit late in the first half.
Yeah, the referee playing advantage there. A bit of sloppy play, but they get the feed in the scrum. And one last chance. They'd like a few points in this first half, Gareth. I don't think at this stage they'd think they're out of the contest.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Particularly given the way the games can change.
Southern side of the ground.
Last week they came back, we thought they were gone for all money, and they came back within, I think it was 7 points, and then they blew out again.
Yeah, they won't, as I say, they certainly won't consider themselves out of the game at 17-0. They'll have the win behind them in the second half, and important to see how Simmons and the other kickers use that win. So scrum the pack now. And as we said, Wanderers looking for some late points here in this first half at number 2.
Sinclair George, the halfback, trying to get his troops to fire. What could be the last scrum before half-time. Looking for it. Finds it. Sherwood. Sherwood takes the line. Turns. Keogh met with a huge hit by Steve Lamont.
Oh,
he's called it back.
He's come up with a penalty. Another cracking tackle from the captain of the Hawks side.
This is where he relishes
the axe.
Maybe he's got Ham's relish because he's absolutely loving this here today.
Oh, he just cut Keogh in half. Keogh comes up with a mistake.
Well, mine, and let's not forget Keogh, probably the most damaging centre in the competition as well. He wasn't getting through that. No. Lamont, perfect breakaways line off the back of the scrum, and lined him up.
Yeah, leading by example, the Hawks captain there. But with the clock ticking down now, showing about half a minute to go. Wanderers with one late chance.
See the replay here as well. Oh, good shot.
Great
Now
shot.
Hand with a little pass at the line to Reed, and Reed. This is their best chance. And they may have squandered it as Jason Hill comes up with it with yet another steal.
It's just that relentless pressure again from the Hawks at the breakdown. The Wanderers with a turnover and Hill coming up with the ball.
Lamont on the short side. He's lined up a couple, copping it there. Brown as well.
Defence, just dynamite defence. Still 40 minutes into this game and they're still hammering each other.
And Keble coming out of the line that time. Now there's trouble. Crowley with Vasagotti. Vasagotti, he'll straighten and get them up over halfway. At Bainavalu on the outside. Oh, Hill bounces off Keogh.
Sherwood into him, under him, and taking him to the ground now as we've got a player down after that.
Yeah,
tackle.
Looks like it's Brown. Is it on the far side? It's
might be Mulhern, I think.
It's Mulhern. They can't afford to lose 2-10s, the Hawks.
Well,
now Crowley goes wide to Brown. Brown dummies on the inside, goes outside to Mackay. Mackay.
It's Mulhern back to his feet and re-enters the fray.
Yeah, told to get up or get out.
I think Dan.
And there he is now. Oh, Dan Keble coming over the top, and he's certainly copping a bit of attention. The young fly half.
I think Dan was the first one to tell him to get up, but anyway, he got away with it. Possibly a little late.
Well, now the Wanderers have turned it over, coming towards the whistle of the first half.
Great meters there by Alex Reed once again. Hawks pressure at the breakdown. Hand comes in and sorts that out.
Yeah, Simmons into behind to Keogh. Keogh looking to play on the edge. Over the top. Here comes Marsh. Marsh on Bainavalu. Inside to Hicks. Hicks gets away from one. Hicks gets away from another. And Hicks goes over. What a try.
What a try. They're back. The two Blues. We talk about them needing late points, but that was fantastic work from the outside backs there from the two Blues side. Keogh with a pop over to Marsh, who was lightning, as we know, down the sideline, back inside to Hicks, who has been outstanding, and he come up with the points and try under the post to get them back in the game.
Well, what about the strength by Hicks? But take nothing away. Marsh, as we look at the replay on the sideline, Marsh trying to get away, and Bainavalu does well to get away.
Looks like
and get him
covered for all money.
Oh, and Hicks just with that big palm, he's so strong up top, isn't he?
Fantastic effort from the young centre for the two Blues side.
So they've got themselves with a sniff to get back into this game.
Simmons,
the two Blues.
Simmons lining up from in front with the easiest conversion he'll have all year, and converts for a half-time. Well, he's going back to halfway.
Yeah, we're going to have a bit more to play, given
17,
a couple of stoppages as well.
17-7 now with moments remaining in the first half, and critical now the Wanderers control this ball off the kickoff, because, well, as we've seen, they've had a bit of trouble with that in the finals.
Yeah, well, they have, and the Hawks, such great exponents of the attacking kickoff. So Mulhern, he'll go. Oh, they let it bounce here.
It's danger.
Yeah, danger for sure.
Keble
comes up.
with it.
Nice work. Garrett Weaver tries to put the shot on, and Keble goes to the ground. Now Blair Rush hasn't seen too much ball here today, the big prop forward.
He's been quiet.
Comes back to Simmons. Simmons with a high up and under, trying to hold it up in the wind. Marsh comes through, and it goes over everybody's head. Oh, Keble comes over the top. Bainavalu tackled, and he'll be okay. Now Mulhern looks to go wide. Assey takes the line on. Ben Ham comes across over the top. And now, as they go back to Maxwell will get the knock on.
Come up with the error.
And there's some big shots going on out there at the moment, isn't there? As Morell and Nagy have a bit of push and shove as well.
All but half time, but they're still hammering tongs into each other, these two packs. I think it's just got fiercer as the game's gone on, Gareth.
I was just about to say the same thing.
Yeah, the level has just gone up. Both packs just at each other relentlessly here this afternoon.
Like a night out on the sea breeze balcony.
Oh, you know,
just gets more intense.
Rubbing my hands together at this contest. Just getting more. I'm getting more excited as the game goes on.
You can see on the Bandlaw replay. Of course, the coverage brought to you by the Titan Group in the Rams NHRU Grand Final. So one more chance you'd have to think here for the two Blues to try and hit back again.
And the Hawks will be looking to apply pressure to this scrum here. Big shunt goes on, but Wanderers hold steady.
So here's Sherwood. Sherwood goes out to Hicks. Hicks juggles the ball, stands in the tackle, offloads off. Good hands there by Simmons. Gets it to Ashworth. Ashworth wrapped up by Brown, and Brown rips the ball off him.
Yeah, great steal there from the young
the club
centre.
captain, Ashworth, won't be happy as they counter-ruck. Get the ball back here, the two Blues.
Young Pitbull takes him on in Sherwood, makes good metres there through the middle.
Yep. As now, gets the ball away. Keble really getting that arm through now. Here comes Blair Rush up the middle. Now Sinclair George looking for options, finds Marsh, and Marsh runs straight at Painavalu. Now Ashworth coming to take in some pressure. He's had a busy afternoon, Ashworth.
This is where they need to match the Hawks side in composure. They've got the ball, got chance for more points.
Simmons, good short ball there to Waller, trying to draw a couple of defenders in. Now they go to Johnson Holmes, it is on the far side. The wiry flanker. This is where they'll have to set up here. That's going to be a knock on, is it, by Nelson?
That's what he's calling. Again, that pressure at the breakdown from the Hawks side has brought the two Blues side undone.
As we see the replay there. Yeah, a little bit tough to see from this angle. Nelson was right on the spot though. Rush not happy with the call. But you never are you?
Well, not when they go against you. Never the most popular on the park, the referees, but doing an outstanding job out there. And of course, sponsored by Specsavers, the major sponsor of the referees here this afternoon, as has been all year. So the Hawks now late in this first half. Not 100% sure. The clock's gone to zero. Not 100% sure how long to go, but must be only moments, Gareth.
Yeah, it wouldn't be long to go because we did have that long stoppage with Sherritt as well. Hill goes down the short side, and here they come. Crowley looking for support. Finds Simmons. Marsh comes across.
Does well there.
Yeah, he did really well. That was a certain try.
And Hill, he's come up with the steal.
Another steal by Hill. That's his third for the game. Hawks now.
He's having a blinder, the big man.
Here they come. They're almost unstoppable from this distance. Mulhern to Ali. Ali steps off his left.
Sherwood's come up with a fantastic ankle tackle.
Great tackle there by the veteran.
And he's got the turnover as well for the two Blues. That's fantastic work from the 10.
Yeah, Reed coming across. And that's going to be half-time. What a half it was. 17-7 in favour of the Hawks. In favour of the Hamilton Hawks for the Street Property Scoreboard in this 2019 Rams NHRU Grand Final. Stay with us because we've got all the second half action coming up in just a few moments.
NHRU want to thank its major naming rights sponsor of the 2019 Rams Home Loans. How are the major sponsors of this year include facilities?
Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Rams 2019 NHRU Grand Final here at number 2 Sports Ground. The score 17-7 in favour of the Hamilton Hawks as they take on the 2 Blues, who hit back just at the stroke of half-time. And what a half it was. We've had everything. We've had injuries, we've had comebacks, we've had big hits, and big shout out to Dane Sherritt, who unfortunately has been taken to hospital, but he's okay, just as precautionary measures. But he is the big news out of that half, isn't he?
Yeah, certainly. I don't know about the players, but I needed a break, Gareth. That was a scintillating opening session here to the grand final of the NHRU Rams competition at number 2 Sports Ground. Fantastic quality football.
Yeah, definitely. Some of the big hits out there, and they played the full 40 minutes, and they got better as the game went on.
Never stopped, both sides just warming to the contest. And the forwards, especially in that tight, the defence, none better than the Hawks captain and Steve Lamont. He was cutting them in half out there. And,
yeah, he's been immense, hasn't he, for them?
He certainly has.
The captain, and certainly he does it every year, doesn't he? Just leads by example.
Keeps turning up. I don't know how long he's going to keep going for. But,
well, he reckons he's only 33. I'm saying 38.
Well,
can't be that much younger than me.
He's been around for a long, long time. But, fantastic effort from the captain and all the Hawks team. But the Wanderers, their defence was enormous in that first half. They held them out. The Hawks side pressure, all sorts of pressure on their own line. They came up with the goods and, most importantly, came up with that late try to chase Hicks.
Yeah, definitely. And it's what's been good about this half as well. No cards. There's been a couple of penalties. A couple of decisions where high tackles, they've had a couple of warnings, but certainly the game's been allowed to flow, and it's been an absolute spectacle. Yeah,
well, the referee, it might be his first grand final, but he's been as good as the players out there. He's let the game flow, and we've had 15 against 15, and that's what we want to see this afternoon. The opening 40 minutes, just hectic. Great game of football.
Yeah, it certainly was. And a couple of people watching in from Fiji as well. Shout out to them, and a shout out certainly to Dane Sherritt's family out there. We can say that he is going to be okay, and unfortunately, Kerry Shepherd from the Uber driver from the Peninsula. Great heads for radio with the Elders Insurance commentary cam here. Don't know about that.
Big call coming from Kerry. Let me down. I had to drive myself in today. He's no longer the premier Peninsula Uber driver service.
And, of course, plenty happening here. It's a great crowd, great atmosphere.
Yeah, nobody.
Bar TV Sports. But how do you think this second half is going to go? Do you think with the change and the wind, do you think the Wanderers can claw their way back and get within?
Well, whilst the young fellow Mulhern has done a great job since he's come on, they just looked a little bit clunky after they lost Sherritt. We know how good he is and how well he controls the side, and that's the big difference. You know, they still scored points. They got another try and a penalty after Sherritt left the park, but they just looked a little bit clunky. They didn't look silky smooth like they do when Sherritt's running the show. And as we mentioned, although it's dropped off somewhat, the southerly buster here, still going to be in favour of the Wanderers side, and critical how they use that wind at their back for their kicking game in the second half.
Well, they were certainly possession around about 70-30 in favour of Hamilton. They were good through the midfield there, but they just didn't really get into the opposition half. And when they did, they scored from halfway.
Yeah, that was a scintillating try.
It was one of the tries of the year.
Without a doubt. And Hicks, we've spoken about how good he's been, but I spoke before kick-off about how important it was for the Wanderers to show and match their composure of the Hawks side. And the little bit of ball they did have, they controlled very well. Kept the ball for several phases, applying pressure, but that's what they've got to do, because we spoke about as well as how intense Hamilton are at that breakdown and the pressure they apply.
Their breakdown work today has been the best I've seen all year.
Big Jason Hill's come up with 3 turnovers. Lamont's come up with a couple.
Not just turnovers, but just the defence as well at the breakdown. And it's not just that, it's them coming through on the drive. And they're just absolutely clean. There's one stage where I think Morrell was cleaned out about 10 metres behind the breakdown.
Yeah,
got up with a couple of push and shoves, but there's nothing you can do about it.
And that sort of defence and that sort of pressure has got to take its toll as the game wears on. I think we spoke about Hamilton only having 2 2 games in 6 weeks, and they might run out of legs late in this first half, but that defence and that intensity just at you all day has got to be draining, and it's got to wear you down. It'll be interesting to see in this second half just how that goes.
Yeah, it definitely will. And the team's back in the sheds in the bowels of this number 2 stadium. 2 different coaching styles. And you can see there, the team's not yet ready to come out. But if you can imagine, Dan Beckett, you've been privy throughout the year to be getting down in amongst the huddles. Of course, the grand final a little bit more intense.
Well, they had the doors closed today. They wouldn't let me in either side. So a little bit of feedback.
As we see Ben Ham now coming out on the field. Lamont leading his side out. 40 minutes to glory, Jared.
Here we go. Both rubbing our hands together. Fantastic game of football, and very much looking forward to this second half, which will be no different to the first half. It'll be intense. It's high stakes. It's the big show. It's the big game.
It is.
40 minutes to go.
Certainly is, and we thought coming into the match, well, I thought certainly all the Hawks had to worry about was what they were wearing to Mad Monday. But the game certainly has turned around here with that late try. And, of course, the back breeze coming as Nelson having a chat to Ben Ham there. He's probably just concerned about how hard he was tackling.
It's a grand final. Let them go at each other.
That's right.
Big men going hard. That's what we've come to see.
Well, I don't know if I've come to see big men going hard, but anyway, we'll get to the second half.
No need for misinterpretations of any statements I make, Gareth, but young Mulhern about to restart play.
So here we go. It's showtime. 40 minutes left in the Rams NHRU grand final. As Morrell winds up, gets the legs pumping. Ben Ham driven sideways by Maxwell. Comes back to Simmons. Simmons now looking to use the breeze, and Hill is back there, but Hill won't be able to get to it. Good start there by the 2 Blues.
Yeah, critical. That's a cracking first kick, use of the wind, and as we spoke about in the half-time break, that may be the difference here this afternoon.
He really punched it down the ground, didn't he? And
well, we're talking it's worth 8 or 10 points, and that's exactly what's in the scoreline at the moment. Fantastic first use of it by Simmons, the fullback.
And to the back to Hill again. They've really nailed that move there. Little short ball.
Let's talk about
they'll be thanking young Mulhern for that, Brown, because he was set upon by the 2 Blues defence there.
Yeah.
As now Ale comes around the corner looking to drive forward, make some metres, and he does just that.
Ralph and Fred both had a crack at him there, and he will be thanking young Sykes for the ball, I'm sure, as a sloppy pass goes out the back and into touch.
Yeah, so not the start that Hamilton would have wanted, but Wanderers certainly with a bit of a spring in their step coming into the second half.
Yeah, and if they can get some early points, they'll be full of spring and bounce.
That one off the top, well, that off was straight, but anyway, play on, says Nelson. Didn't get a call from the touch judge. There's advantage being played, I believe, as Ham takes it forward. Yeah, they'll get the penalty there. It came from the touch judge, so yeah, pulling it down.
Fair call. Young Xavier Edwards on the far touchline there, assisting with the referee. So Wanderers now Simmons to put them into the 22, you'd imagine, for the first time in the game.
Well, not the best of kicks. He almost didn't get him in there. They don't want to be in there, Jared. They like scoring from between the 22 to 50, keeping the fans' hearts in the mouth. And there's plenty of fans here too.
Yeah, great crowd here this afternoon as Rush goes to Morrell off the top, out to Sherwood now to Keogh on the charge.
Oh, Keogh winds up, runs straight at Brown. He's got plenty of defence as Brown. Here's Hicks. Hicks getting on the outside. Hicks getting through. Pops it up to Ashworth. Ashworth stays in. How did he do that?
Fantastic work. Maintain possession.
Have they? I think they may have turned it over. No. Sinclair George digging for the ball. Gets somewhere. It. Here comes Reed. Reed turned on his back. And that's going to be
2 Blues.
A 2 Blues scrum. How did Ashworth stay in there?
No idea.
What about the strength by Hicks?
Yeah, Hicks again showing great pace and strength.
You can see there on the bandball replay. Yeah, good strength by Ashworth, the club's captain. They did well. It is a 2 Blues scrum, and they were under all sorts of pressure. You see Ali there with a big tongue out. I'll tell you what, you wouldn't want to lick Dave Waller's face. Good scrum. Comes out the back, hand to Sinclair George, throws the dummy to Sherwood. The gap closed up on him. Oh. So they're going to come back for another 2 Blues scrum.
Not sure on the ref's call there, but yeah, as you say, the 2 Blues are going to get the loosened feed here with a chance to apply more pressure. Young Sinclair George taking them on there, but maybe should have passed. Sherwood had plenty of men outside him.
Dave Waller not happy with something we see here. Yeah, just a good tackle there around the legs. So now, Sherwood very wide in the channel. A good scrum by the Hawks. Oh, pop straight out. A little move there. Didn't come off by the 2 Blues. And again, Ashworth cleans up. He's swarmed by the Hawks defence. They've lost metres there, but it's going to be called knocked on by the Hawks. Just not quite getting it right at the moment, the Hamilton side.
So yeah, 2 Blues, Ashworth there standing inside Sherwood, and lucky he was because it was a pretty scrappy ball from the halfback.
Well, they tried the set move off the scrum, and it didn't quite work for them, and they were going backwards, the Wanderers scrum. It's probably a move you'd want to see.
On the front foot, without a doubt, but Ham did well. Yeah, just sloppy ball from Sinclair George, but well cleaned up by Ashworth, and they get another chance.
So 22 metres out now.
Hawks pressuring.
Oh, good scrum by the Hawks, and Hill comes up with it off the back. Too strong, that the set piece. Now it comes back to Mulhern with a nice little kick off his boot towards the sideline. Well weighted.
Fantastic kick there into space, and Simmons lets it go. But that could be the undoing of the 2 Blues side. Their front row, they just can't match Hamilton with the pressure in the scrum. And we saw it there with come up Hill off the back. Blair Rush now out the back, and it's gone over the top, and Ali
does well there, Ali, and charges forward up towards the 22. And they pick and drive through Weaver.
Yeah, he's been good, the big Welshman.
Oh, inside, no look pass to Ackersdyke. And the Hawks, once they hit this 22, they just look so composed. It's free flowing, it's tough, it's tight, it's everything.
Yeah.
So here's Ali, flat-footed. He gets them up towards the 5 metre line.
2 Blues under the pump again. Had an early chance for points and didn't come up with them as Hill takes them to the left.
It's all Hamilton now. How quickly the game has changed. And now we know what the Hawks are going to do. 10-man rugby, here it comes. And the Wanderers, they're aware to it. Now it comes off the back. Vassagotti shows and goes.
Little stumble there, takes it to ground. Hawks retain the ball.
Here's Bainavalu. He's done some tougher stuff than we're usually accustomed to. As Maxwell goes through. Almost losing there. Good counter-rucking by the Wanderers as they're 5 metres out. And it's a turnover. Simmons under all sorts of pressure.
Hasn't got it out.
McKay.
Underneath it does well.
Yeah, McKay does very well there now, looking for Mulhern. Mulhern to Crowley. Crowley met with a good defensive. The 2 big men. Oh, it opens up for Lamont. Lamont charging for the try line.
Oh, the Pitbull, he's brought him down. Another sensational tackle.
Yeah, Sherwood advantage is being played though. Here they come. Are they going to break here, the 2 Blues?
Relentless pressure from the Hawks once again.
Here comes Hill. Hill to Crowley. Crowley ducks under. But the Wanderers, they stand strong. Nagy. And now they reset, they realign, they go towards the try line. Held up.
Held up's a call. But
Yeah, advantage was played though.
Rest going back for an indiscretion earlier in play. Penalty right in front of the sticks.
You
to the
take
Hawks.
it. I'd take it.
You have to take it.
3 points on offer.
Only gets you 13 points out, not 2 converted tries. But
We're going to have a bit of a chat here.
Nelson calling Ben Ham out, the captain of the Wanderers side, for a little chat. Again, we're
pick it up.
Just trying to pick it up. It is breezy here. And
yeah, we just didn't catch the chat there, so we missed what the penalty was for. But yeah, I'd say you're going to take the points as he points to the
points
sticks.
to the sticks.
Take them
Keeps
out.
his card in his pocket. No, he's going to go for the scrum.
Oh,
Thought he pointed for the sticks
I'm
then.
pretty sure he did. Yeah, he's thrown us a curveball there, young Nelson, the referee.
The
The
captain,
Hawks.
the skipper,
The
the
skip-
pilot.
The Hawks choose to maintain the pressure, which has been relentless for the last 4 or 5 minutes. 2 Blues coming up with the goods in defence. Can they do it again? Fantastic position for an attacking scrum here. They'll put pressure on them, and
Options.
choices to go left or right here.
Yeah, options both sides. Which way do you go as Hill
Well, 2
looks to
Blues
take it off
screw
the back and
around.
goes himself, offloads the ball. Has he knocked that on?
He's knocked it on.
He has, Lamont.
Off. Hill picks the scraps up, takes it off the back of the scrum, gets it to his captain, but he's come
Yeah,
up
we'll
with
have a look at the replay here. Assey inside to Lamont. No, Assey's tried to throw it inside, and Cavill came up with what can only be described as a try saver.
definite try saver there from the Devil. He's done well, and off the hook, the 2 Blues. So the choice not to take the points.
You see the Wanderers crowd up the end. They look concerned.
Sinclair George now to feed the scrum. Be looking for Simmons out the back and get it out of here. Get it downtown.
Yeah, nice work. As they just go towards the line, they're close. Are they over? They're held up again.
Oh.
More hold-ups than a Cowtex.
That's all. Excuse me, you've got me there, Gary. Now they come up with a tight head. The Hamilton Hawks.
You can see the bench getting ready as well on the sideline. Don't know what that is. There's some sort of Pilates. Looks good though.
The bad Viking, Liam.
Yeah, the bad Viking doesn't. No, he's the good Viking.
Oh, sorry, he's the good Viking.
Yeah, Liam Bowden.
He's the good Viking.
He didn't get that at the Bulls.
Stretching. Anyway, Hawks now with the feed. The relentless pressure continues for this Wanderers side, been parked in their own line here for 8 or 10 minutes now. Hawks just relentless with their pressure, as usual.
Good scrum this time. As Hill again picks from the back. The Wanderers were driving them sideways that time. It's getting a little bit scrappy there. Oh, that's going to be a try, is it? Yes, it is. Somehow that A and B defence went wrong way.
Joey Ackersdyke.
And Joe Ackersdyke gets yet another grand final try.
He's a specialist. He can sniff them out, but yeah, the Wanderers just could not contain them any longer. Pressure just relentless from the defending premiers, the Hawks side. Too much pressure in the finish, and Ackersdyke gets himself a meat pie again in the grand final.
22 points to 7 now on the Street Property scoreboard. 52 minutes played in this grand final, and again, the Hawks go a little bit more in front.
Yeah, well, that'd dent the Wanderers' confidence for sure, but the difference being the Wanderers side had plenty of chances there early in this second half to come up with points and failed. But as we know, you give the Hawks a sniff, Gareth, they very rarely walk away with no points.
Yeah, definitely.
Increases their lead to 22 points to 7.
It's Mulhern coming in for a fairly easy shot here. As he hits that, and the flags go up.
Mulhern earns the extras.
The big news is that the Wanderers only had an opportunity to use the wind at their back, which is just about now dissipated to nothing, Gareth. So that's a big change in the game as well. The Hawks.
Yeah, certainly. It's going to probably help the case of the Hawks.
Without a doubt. Simmons to restart now, goes for a deep one. Young Sykes underneath it.
Yeah, nice work as he gets it out towards the hill, who winds up, and he's driven sideways but takes about 4 with him. Now it goes to Mulhern. Mulhern not with the best of deliveries, but Crowley ends up with it and again scampers away.
That footwork again.
Now they go to Nagy. Good run by Nagy up the field. And now Sykes again with a box kick. He's been good from behind that breakdown. Good attacking play by Simmons. So pops the ball up somehow to Sinclair George. Now Marsh. He's looking for some space, but there is absolutely none out there at number 2.
Bainavalu shuts his opposite down. As
good quick hands by Sherwood as Vasagotti came in off his perch.
Vasagotti got him there in a ripper. As the Hawks now pressure the breakdown once again. Sinclair George out to Blair Rush on the charge.
Yeah, Blair Rush getting them up over the 40. And now Ben Ham with another charging run. Hands are all over the ball. And they get away with it as Kevill gets a little wraparound on. Not the best of passes to Tim Marsh and can't get away again. He's been very well contained. Oh, Morrell somehow gets it to Kevill.
Don't know
how.
how.
About that.
Like to see.
And Kevill pops a pass to nobody.
Hawks
So
come
advantage
up.
being played to the Hawks as well. Crowley goes without it. It's called knockback.
Oh,
what a hit by Chase Hicks.
Chase Hicks come up with another outstanding defensive effort there on young Mackay, but referee.
One-on-one, he absolutely belted him.
Napped his head back as a replacement
As we look
now.
at the replay here. Boom.
Young Sykes been replaced.
Yep, Backerich carrying on as well.
Well, he's not come on to play halfback, that's for sure.
Noah Church will be the replacement for Sykes.
Maxwell there, the old stager, he's been fantastic for them.
Yeah, great game by Maxwell.
Gets an early
Will it
spell.
be his last?
Well,
The effervescent front rower.
he looks like he could go around for another couple. He's
well, when you get that age, you can't stop because your body just breaks down.
Yeah, if you stop, you've got to lay down. But whilst he keeps moving, he's been exceptional regardless of how old he is.
Yeah, good scrum again by the Hawks, just walking them up the field. Here's Church with his first touch, Mulhern. The second grade combination. May even prove a bit of a masterstroke, a little bit crisper. As that one kicked towards the sideline.
Yeah, the replacement 10 there. Mulhern, he's done well there, good kick.
Yeah, just
Ladies and gents, if you're looking to have a
getting
drink,
it in behind the defensive line and getting them to turn around and just wearing them down at the moment, the Hamilton Hawks.
Yeah, smart football by the Hawks.
you've got about 12 minutes and 53 seconds.
Oh, Waller getting it down around the ankles.
Done well there, Blair Rush of the throw, a little low out to Sherwood now.
Simmons, good defensive speed by the Hawks. Now Keogh trying to start something. Hasn't seen the ball much today, Keogh. And they've turned the ball over the two Blues.
Again.
It's all Hawks at the moment.
Relentless pressure at the breakdown, comes up with the pill again. Wanderers, poor ball control.
As we come back for a scrum. 24 points to 7 on the Street Property scoreboard. This broadcast brought to you by the Titan Group and the Rams NHRU.
Yeah, they just never stop, do they? They're just at you and at you and at you. And we spoke about what sort of an effect that has on an opposition, and it's starting to tell on the two Blues.
24-7. We've got 20 minutes remaining, or 21 minutes remaining. Not quite out of it, but the door almost half shut, Jared.
Yeah, I'd say so. They need points, they need them quick, but they need to keep the pill. The little bit of ball that the Hawks are giving them, they're not doing their best with it. But that's another great scrum there from the Hamilton Hawks side.
They're certainly the most dominant side of the modern era, the Hawks. It's going to be a scrum to the Hawks again.
Yeah,
they're getting rewarded for their dominance at the set piece.
That's the exact word we use for it. They have just been dominant just about from the get-go. You spoke about them lulling them into a false sense of security early in the piece, but they've been all over them since every scrum.
So dominant, I'm surprised they're not wearing black leathers, Jared.
On fire, the ferocious voice of the valley, on fire once again, folks. Get involved. Don't forget to get involved in this coverage. You can comment, have your say. We'll read them out as they go along. But,
yeah, certainly, we thank our audience this year. You've been an absolute pleasure to deliver the Kings of Live Stream Media broadcast on Bar TV Sports.
And the Hawks once again solid in the scrum. Wanderers looking to apply pressure.
Short ball there.
Mulhern onto Brown. Joe Hill.
He's been immense out there, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's certainly a big chance of getting the man of the match chocolates. That's for sure. He's been all over his opposition. Number 8.
The John Hitwell medal, won't he treasure that one? Oh, Bakarich. Didn't think he had his passing card by Bubba Colm, but he did well then. As Bainavalo into the 22. So here come the Hawks again. They pick and drive.
Ali on the charge there, makes a good couple of metres.
Yeah, doing well again. Of course, all the experience, the shoot shield experience, coming to the fore. And now they again.
It's just like a broken record.
Yeah, exactly.
Same old, same old. They keep going there because it's so successful for them.
Yeah, you don't change your winning formula. But no, the Wanderers have come up with a penalty there.
Done well.
And that's a big stress reliever.
And March 10 for a bit of back chat. Somebody's opened their mouth. Ham looks to take the quick tap.
It's Keogh now to Hicks. Hicks has Ashworth. Ashworth just overruns the play. Sherwood comes in support. As now Hicks tries to take something off the back of the breakdown, and he's grabbed around the ankles. Here's Blair Rush. Oh, good tackle. Tweedy Assey coming across.
Big hit there on the big man.
Cavill in behind to Simmons. Simmons out wide now. Johnson Holmes.
Yeah, looking to get Marsh into some space, but couldn't get in the ball.
So they go in front of Reed. Good exchange of passing to Morrell. Morrell with a hand free.
Great hands there by the Wanderers forwards.
A little passing interchange. Here's Cavill looking to get more involved, looking for Ham. Tries to get his arm free, can't quite do it. Pops the ball up, and Morrell again. Here comes Ashworth. Ashworth gets away from one. Oh, Sherwood taken from behind in a try-saving tackle, and a steal to boot.
Mulhern or Mackay was it? Not quite sure which, but fantastic defence and comes up with the goods.
Yeah, it was Mackay. Great work by the winger.
Noah Church just puts it into touch to calm the scene here, but fantastic play. Great ball movement, great hands by the forwards and the backs from the Two Blues side, but again, the defence from the Hamilton Hawks shuts them down.
Yeah, this is great. Great grand final rugby by the Hawks. Comes off the top pen, Ham comes up with it.
Yeah, over the top of Morrell, but Ham does well to clean up. Out the back to Sherwood now.
Finds a bit of space. Gets the little legs pumping. Now it goes out to Hicks. Hicks thought twice about going on the outside. Tried to go on the inside, and he was stopped by Vasagotti.
Yeah, great contest there between the two centres.
Sinclair George takes one. Almost finding a hole. Oh, Jason Hill. He was about a metre offside there. Now Blair Rush spinning around. trying to get themselves, with 15 minutes to go, back in this match. And that's a penalty.
Referee playing advantage there. Brought it back as Sinclair George looks to take the quick one out to Ham.
Oh,
on
Ben
to
Ham.
Sherwood.
Sure, as you said, inside ball now, Morrell. Here's Keogh. Keogh tries to go forward, and he's picked up, and he's driven.
More fierce defence.
Great defence by the
Blair
Hawks.
Rush now on the charge for the two Blues.
Oh, penalty to the Hawks, and that comes down, Jared, to one thing, and that's defence.
It's the pressure that they apply at that breakdown, as we've spoken about. They're relentless. We're speaking about it relentlessly, but
I tell you what,
they keep producing.
Bubba Coleman is that good, he would have stolen something from the defence budget. Just to work on this.
Oh, I saw, as I spoke about before the game, he was out there showing them. It was on an under sevens player, but he was out there showing them how to defend. But no.
That is unbelievable work. It went 15 minutes to go, and they're pulling off hits like that.
Just keeps getting better. The game continues to grow.
He's taken at least 15 mil off that $150 billion budget.
As the big Welshman for the Hamilton Hawks gets a spell.
Big work by Weaver.
He's been enormous.
As Hodges comes on.
Nagy off the top now. Church throws it out to Tuiasi.
Yeah, Tuiasi met with some good defence by Reid. Backerich, knock on both ways. So we'll have a scrum. But Backerich,
poor hands there,
running onto it.
But no, the defence just does continue to get better as this game goes on, from both backs and forwards, or forwards and backs, I should say. Keogh, young Mackay, just picked him up and drove him backwards. But Backerich has come up with a mistake for the Hawks, and the two Blues, with 15 minutes remaining, get another chance deep in the Hawks' territory, and they need to come up with points on this play, you would imagine, Gareth.
Yeah, you'd have to think.
Set to the left
and the 15-minute mark now.
Set to the left and right here. Options for Sinclair George.
Yeah, I think certainly you'd have to look at Chase Hicks. As we've seen now, Keogh has come from the field. And they put Dalibozek on the wing.
Ashworth moving into the centres to cover for Keogh.
He's been playing that roaming role all game as well, Ashworth. So
he's been all over the park. He's been good, been very strong, the club captain for the two Blues side. But yeah, they need points. They need them fast. They need them now, Gareth, sorry.
I'm happy with Gary.
Sorry.
It's been a long season.
Never even meant to say that time.
2019.
The referee just as the referee just moves them off that well-worn part of the pitch up the middle there, Gareth, who helped the front rowers out with their footing. But as I said, they need points, and they need them now. They've had plenty of opportunity to get some points in this second half and come up empty on every occasion.
They just skimmed a bit off the short side. As we see Simmons, probably the chief playmaker. Oh, that's a terrible looking scrum. And the Hawks dominating, as we said, and won another scrum penalty. And Backerich, I mean, he's played in the last 4 grand finals, finds himself coming off the bench here today.
Yeah, well,
and he's probably one of the best scrummagers in the competition, and that proves why.
Yeah, without a doubt. But yeah, both front rowers, starting front rowers for the Hawks, have now sitting on the bench, but it's made no difference to the scrum.
Well, young Hodges as well, he's only come out from Colts last year. He's a big human.
Oh, look at the size of the lad.
He's a very good scrummager himself. Well, they go off the back to Hill.
Once again.
Here's Mulhern. Mulhern turns Brown on the inside. Runs away from Ham this time. Evades the tackler coming across. Mulhern inside to Hill. Good run by Hill.
Said that was forward, but the ref let it go.
Well, Backerich now, he'll pick and drive.
As they march on the Hawks.
Here's Tuiasi. Has Church come around? Crowley, inside ball, great hands. Ali goes forward, up the sideline.
Almost unstoppable, Ali, but a great ball there. Inside ball, and he's made a good 25 metres, and the Hawks, more pressure for the two Blues.
So here now Mulhern, Hodges with a run. Sets them up.
Kevel going
15
for the
metres in. And that's a penalty. Yeah, Kevel did well there getting over the top.
Yeah, good pressure from the old fella.
The Devil, as you described him.
It was just an observation. I wasn't saying.
Oh, it's a play on his name. We know that. I like it.
Oh, I think he does too. He certainly can't argue with me.
So, Malonis is on. The hooker, Waller, getting a short one again. Plenty of work at the front of the line out. Inside ball to Reed, and Reed met by Ali. Now to Simmons. Simmons with a little bit of room on the short side. Finds Delabozic. Delabozic scampers inside to Simmons, who drops the ball. Line unopened.
Oh, and a bit of tension coming out there. Frustration from Simmons throwing the ball into Noah Church.
Well, Delabozic
How did he
tiptoed on the
stay
line.
in? How did he stay in?
He should have gone himself.
Well, now that he knows the result, he probably had a second crack at it.
Simmons, good work here by the veteran fullback.
He's done well to even hang on to it.
Look at the room and inside.
Tiptoeing.
I would have liked to see the little in away there from the young winger.
Yeah, we probably got the call from the old stage and wasn't game enough to not throw it to him, but in the end he should have hung on to it. We know how quick he is, young Delabozic.
He did well. Look at the one-hand pick-up. Look how close he was to the line.
He did well just to hang on to it. Unfortunately, Simmons with the line wide open, as you said. He's come up with a massive mistake there. We're down to 10.5 minutes in the big dance here at the number 2 sports ground, and they needed to take that chance when they got him.
Well, they need 3 tries, and within 10 minutes, you'd have to say it's with the defence and the grand final effort. It's going to be nigh impossible.
We said the 0 from 2, the Hamilton Hawks side so far today.
Tillis is loving it. Former first grader there. Best looking man in Hamilton. Owns a boat, the party boat, at the anchorage as well. I think he's promised us it for Mad one day.
But yeah, it looks like 10 minutes to go here. The Hawks been dominant all day, and I can't see the 2 Blues scoring 3 tries in 10 minutes, Gareth, so it looks like they've got half a hand on the cup.
Well, they've only been able to score 1 in 70, so it's going to take some sort of effort, and this is, again, it's like a work of moving art, isn't it?
It is a work of art in my book. Vasagotti now makes some good moves.
Oh,
there.
lovely ball to Assey. Assey. Had Schmidt coming across,
brushing
held up.
it
I think he just wanted to palm him.
I think he came back to him.
So here they come now wide. Mulhern to Crowley. Crowley puts down the foot. He's collared from behind. Advantage now being played as they counter-ruck here. And yeah, that'll be a penalty. Unlucky. He had nowhere else to grab him. But unfortunately, the letter of the law says it is a penalty every day of the week.
Crowley with that footwork has opened him up.
Oh, he's marched them 10 as well.
Too much chat.
And here we go. We'll look at it here. Might get slowed down. Yeah, there's the arm came out. Unfortunate there for Hicks. He's had a good game.
Collared him. Don't think it was high. He got him by the back of the collar, Gareth. Is that illegal?
Yeah, I don't think you can do that.
No?
I think that went out in 1995.
Right.
Just prior to the World Cup.
1995. Some time ago then. Anyway, the Hawks just marching on. We were a little worried about the miles in their legs, 2 games in 6 weeks, but it doesn't seem to be having any effect here.
You can see the coaching staff from the 2 Blues not looking too happy. Of course, Dan Beckett, a former Hawk. His family are highly involved with the Hawks, and his brother tweeting in, if you can see on our Bar TV Sports Twitter, he's watching this game live from the MCG at the AFL Grand Final.
Is that right?
On his phone.
Well, we knew they had big competition.
In amongst 100,000 people, so shout out to him. Liam Beckett designs all our graphics, and Hill comes off the back.
Good charge by the big number 8.
Oh, here they go. That's a quick 1-2 punch there by the Hawks. Advantage being played. Will this be the nail in the Wanderers' coffin?
We know what they'll do.
So Church now to Mulhern. Inside ball to Bainavalu. Bainavalu caught 3 out. Not the best pass there to Mulhern. It doesn't matter. Oh,
somehow.
Holy crow.
Somehow has been stopped.
Somehow he got the ball back.
Somehow you put the mock on him again. He was over for all money.
And Bakarich, he'd love another grand final try. Calls for knock on. I thought it was all right. Came off the foot. No, he's got the call from the sideline. So good defence by the two Blues.
He's going back for some advantage over here.
Yeah, that's a big advantage, isn't
It's
it?
a massive call from the young referee. The Hawks play on, quick to tap.
It's like having four arms at a table tennis tournament. That's how big that advantage was. So now,
the relentless Hamilton Hawks looking for another late one to seal this game. 6 minutes remaining.
and here they come. It's going to be close. Oh, he goes over for another grand final try. The veteran, the heart, the soul of this Hamilton pack, Joey Ackersdyke.
Joey Ackersdyke has got himself a double here today. They're just about, well, I was going to say close out the game, Gareth. 5.5 minutes remaining. Wanderers haven't looked like scoring, except for that one chance they got.
Well, they got down the other end, but the defence by Hamilton, too good, too strong.
Yeah, big
They've had enough time to prepare for this weekend. No stone unturned.
Yeah.
And the Rolling Stone is the only one that will gather any moss. And in this case, it'll be grand final winners beer.
Number 5 on the trot. We saw when we covered the Wanderers Hawks game at Passmore there, the last competition game, just what a professional show they are right across the board. It was a display on that day for Sponsors Day, the setup, the way they ran it, and it's just every department of this football club is just so professional, and it's up to the other teams in this competition to match that, Gareth.
So Mulhern with his toughest assignment of the day, and he just waves it across. As you said, just the whole setup, and a big congratulations. I know there's still 5 minutes to go in the game, but to everybody involved, from the president right down to the ball boys, the kids that run out with them every week, and indeed the players that play the game. And of course, dare we say it, Ducky, the assistant coach, the brains.
That's your biggest call of the year, as Joey Ackersdyke takes it off the kick-off and makes good meters down the left.
Yeah, nice work there.
Inside-outside ball from Vasagotti to Bonavalu. Sorry, not Bonavalu gets it.
There's a crowd.
Mulhern throws it wide to Ale.
Looking to get into this again. Ale, he's been good in this second half, hasn't he?
Made some meters. Ackersdyke.
And here he comes again, Joe Ackersdyke.
Looking for number 3.
Deserves 3. Here's Hill. Oh, Marsh almost gets the intercept. Bonavalu going for the try line. Does he get there?
Oh,
the flag goes up.
Unfortunate.
That's been the battle of the day, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's been a great contest out there on the left touch. Bonavalu up against Marsh, both lightning on their feet. Bonavalu just put into touch right on the corner post, but Nelson and his assistant are having somewhat of a conversation over there.
Yeah, a little chat. I think maybe the tackle came across a bit high. Nelson. It can't be a grand final for a referee without a card.
Well,
I'm happy for it. 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, well.
Take him out.
2 minutes to go. He can throw all the cards he likes because it's not going to make any difference.
Throw the Joker out.
He's going for it too.
Yeah, Ben Ham.
Marsh looks like he's in trouble
here.
Marsh. So we've got a bit of cheese in the finish.
Yeah, nice work. And the referees stay true to form throughout the semi-finals.
It's a penalty try.
And it's a penalty try. That is crazy.
Well,
the flag went up. He put his foot out. So I don't understand how it's a penalty try.
Well, he's tackled him illegally to take him into touch.
But the ball's out of play.
Well, that's another big call. So anyway, now they've got 2 hands firmly on the trophy here, the Hawks. So
penalty try, 36 points to 7. 36 points to 7.
And you're on the money. I think you said 30 points as they go for a sneaky one, and Simmons can't even pull that off. That about sums up their day here at number 2 Sports Ground as the tensions grow. Push and shove out in the middle there. And Simmons kicks the ball away in disgust. I think disgust with himself.
Yeah, definitely. Tempers flare up.
Yeah, well, the Hawks.
Well, the Stinks come at the wrong end of the match.
They're all smiling as Liam Bowden comes to the sideline. We're going to get a couple of minutes here.
And here we go now, looking at the replay. Oh, yeah, taken from behind. He put the arm out. I thought he put his foot out a little bit further away than that. We'll get another look, and our producer's doing an amazing job here for this 2019 Grand Final. Yeah, he was taken high as he put the ball down, so I'll pay that. As Tweedy Assey comes from the field as well. Tim Marsh on the replay, looking like he'd done nothing. So in the end, you'd have to say Bainavalu won the battle out there out wide.
He's got the points for mine.
He's a Grand Final specialist.
Assey now coming to the sideline, Liam Bowden going on. We thought Assey was a bit quiet in the major final, but he's certainly come back to life today. He's had a big game.
Big game, hasn't he, here today?
Yeah, they haven't had a bad player on the park, the Hamilton Hawks side. They've just been dominant as they have been all season. But, you know, congratulations to Dan Beckett and his coaching staff as well, because, you know,
the Wanderers weren't even expected to be in this final series.
They were written off. Their biggest supporter, Jimmy Gardner at the Herald, he's called them to run 6th. And
I think everybody's calling their second biggest supporter now after you've jumped on the Blue Wagon.
I'm absolutely have no connections just to clear it up with the Two Blues side. I'm a Hunter Valley boy now, entrenched in Shoal Bay, and a massive Gropers fan, certainly not affiliated with the Two Blues whatsoever, just to clear that up.
He's jumped off right in the last minute of 2019.
I've jumped on
as Hill puts it out the back.
I've jumped on the bus to the sunny side.
Inside to Bowden. Bowden bumps one off. A little bit of a head clash there, but unintentional. Gets back to his feet.
He's only just come on, but he's straight into the action, young Bowden. There's Church off the back now to Mulhern.
And here comes Mackay. Mackay, midfield. Sets it up nicely. Can they go over for another try? Well, we said they had to score 30 points to be competitive. Hamilton on the street property scoreboard, 36 points to 7 at the moment. Looking for one more as they drive up the field. Mulhern, he's been good since he's come on. He's been
excellent,
exemplary since he's been on.
Yeah, fantastic. The pressure was on him to replace Sherritt, but he's come up with the goods.
His last year's Hipwell medalist Coupe's on the field as well. Now Bakarich picks and drives. Church, he's searching for the ball. Goes in behind Vasagotti. Vasagotti opens the gate, shuts the gate and takes the tackle. Penalty. So Wanderers getting away with that one.
Referee's found indiscretion. They've taken the quick one.
And they're going to have to run it. Oh, lovely work. Right down to the last minute. Mackay comes up with a rib rattler.
Oh, it's not his first for the afternoon either. Looking to go for the quick one. Mackay's come in off touches. Waller now on the charge.
Yeah, good run there, boy. Dave Waller, too little too late though. Heffron winds up. Heffron gets them up over the 22. Penalty to the Two Blues. Louis Nelson.
Wearing the count up here late. Reed off to Piers Morrell on the charge.
Yeah, Louis Nelson just trying to get his KPIs in before the match. He's let the game flow.
Ashworth
now Ashworth. He's had a good game in a beaten side, Ashworth.
He's been good. He's been all over the park. Come off his wing looking for work.
Marsh knocked down there by Lamont. Another penalty. This could be a card.
No, certainly. You couldn't send the skipper off.
Now Heffron. Heffron to Hicks. Hicks taken around the legs.
Great tackle again. Young Mackay coming off his wing.
Here's Dalabozek. Coupe
does well to stay in there.
Yeah, Coupe gets the big arm out, wraps him up. Waller goes sideways, looking for support. Finds Ben Ham. Ben Ham. Well, he certainly has had a great season, Ben Ham. But he's come up against the full ploughman's lunch here today. As it goes over the top.
Some of your best.
Ashworth inside, puts the foot out.
Yeah. And who was it? Your man, Joey Ackersdyke.
Yeah, Joe Ackersdyke again. And that will be the grand final, Jared Ryan. Final score, 36 points to 7 in favour of the Hamilton Hawks. That's 5 in a row for Hamilton. And what a dynasty it is, Jared.
Well, they might have won 5 in a row, but they're celebrating like it's their first. Have a look at the crowd is just jumping the fence and players getting swarmed, the elation and what it means to them. And that's the culture in the club. Doesn't matter how many you win, you know, your culture, you've got the right culture, you just want more. And that's what this club and this side continuing their march on in their 5th straight premiership. The celebration.
A big effort for everybody involved in the 2019 Rams NHRU season. We'd like to thank our broadcast partners, of course, the Titan Group Street Property, where the scoreboard says 36 points to 7. Who was your best out there, Jared?
Well, you know, I'd like to give it to the Hawks scrum. That was the big difference in the game. But I've got to go with the big red-headed number 8 for the Hamilton Hawks. He was awesome. He was all over it. He was pinching. He was pilfering. He was pounding them into submission. And so he, for me, is the best on ground today.
Well, he stole more than William Wallace out there, didn't he, today? The big Scotsman. And I agree with you there. Jason Hill's certainly the best on the field for me. Thanks very much for joining me throughout the season. It's going to be a lonely trip home without you there today, Jared, but I really enjoyed the coverage by the Bar TV sports crew, your company in the commentary box, and indeed a massive congratulations to the Hamilton Hawks for 2019. You can see the jubilation out there. Bubba Coleman, they've done something no other club has ever done, 5 in a row, and it's a great memory to have. And it will be a great celebration to partake in Hamilton over the next coming days. Shout out to everybody watching around the world on Bar TV Sports. Thanks for joining us, Jared.
Been my pleasure, Gareth.
Very well, and we will take you down to the sideline to the presentations. Thanks very much, everybody. I'm Gareth Wazick, and I'll catch you next time. You good? Well, 5 in a row. What about that? Did you think it could happen?
Yeah, definitely. I thought it could happen since we got here, but yeah, I had full faith that we could get there. We stuck to what we did, but it was a bit uglier than I thought. But yeah.
Well, no, ugly win's a good win. We all know that. We've all been to King Street on a Friday night. How are you guys going to celebrate?
Mate, we'll celebrate quite good, I'm sure. Sunnyside will lift the roof off, and we'll probably be there for 5 days for every year we've won.
Yeah, definitely. All the best. We'll let you enjoy it.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much for your year as well, mate.
Well done. Well, Jace, you came out here mid-year. Did you think you'd win a grand final?
No, not the way my luck went in Scotland. I just thought I'd come out here, play a bit of footy, just soak up, maybe work on my tan, you know.
Yeah, well, you got our Bar TV man of the match here today. Great game out there, obviously. What are you going to take away from this?
The Scottish clubs, as good as they are, my club's one of the top in Scotland, and they can learn from these guys. Like, to have a first, second, and third as strong as this, just would make us so much better back home. Like, not disrespecting them back home, but these guys, like, to have a pitch invasion like that, like that's what rugby's for. Camaraderie, it's outstanding. And
very good. We're going to see you here next year.
Hey, we're working on it. We'll have
to get you out of the bay.
That's it. I need to go to the country, work on my farming or something like that. But yeah, we're working on it.
Well, very good. All the best, and have a good few days.
No worries. Thank you very much. Top man.
Before we crack them open, we're going to award the medals to the referees, who, without whom we wouldn't have had the game we had today. So if we can have the man in the middle with the whistle, Louis Nelson, bring forward your guys. Nick Gale, Xavier Edwards and Greg Pearce. Okay, runners up, Wanderers, if I can get the skipper, Ben Ham, to come across and say a few words.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate Hamilton Hawks. Congratulations, Steve and the boys. 5 in a row. Congratulations. Secondly, the Wanderers, everyone who comes to support us. To our boys, you know, we had a great year. We just fell one short, but we'll be back next year and ready to give another great old crack. Lastly, thanks to the referees. I said it before, without you guys, we don't have a game. Cheers.
Thanks, man. Okay, guys, come across and receive your runner-up medals. They'll be awarded today by our patron, Rod Robson, OAM, and Club President, NHRU President, Bill Clifton. Okay, guys, come across. As well as our major sponsor, Representative Brendan Trommel from Rams Home Loans. we certainly wouldn't be able to put on the show we have today. Okay, we've got a couple of awards here that are put on by the Hawthorn Club. I'd like to welcome our guests, Mark Queenan as the chair, Tim Morton, life member, and I think there must be Richard Jones as well. Guys, if you come up on stage. Okay, the first presentation to be awarded by Tim Morton and Richard Jones is the cheque to the major premiers. We get the skipper for Hamilton and Canova, Steve Lamont, to come and get the premiers cheque.
Somebody will pick this up.
Can you two not this again? Yeah. Can I cash this now? I won't take it over the same side. You want to take this with me?
Moose will cash it.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, ladies and gents, the next award will be the John Hipwell Medal. I think it's important that we understand who John Hipwell was and where it came from. Initiated in 2014 by the Hawthorn Club with the support of the Hipwell family, the Waratahs Rugby Club and the NHRU. The Hawthorn Club proposed for the Rugby First Grade Grand Final Man of the Match to be awarded the John Hipwell Medal. The former Wally captain and Hall of Fame inductee, John Hipwell, passed away on the 21st of September 2013 at the age of 65. Originating in the local Waratahs Rugby Club, Hipwell's representative career started in 1966. When he made his debut for Newcastle in New South Wales country as an 18-year-old against the touring British and Irish players. Later that year, he toured with the Wallabies for the first time when he travelled to the British Isles, France and Canada. Known as a remarkable scrum half, known as hippies to his friends, achieved much of both on and off the field as he was considered one of the world's best in his day. He played in 36 tests and captained Australia in 9 internationals and a further 9 non-test appearances following his playing career. He was bestowed the Honour of Australia Medal in 1982 and inducted in the Wallabies Hall of Fame in 2006. Hipwell had the unique honour of featuring in 3 Grand Slam tours for the Wallabies, the 66-67 tour, 75-76 and the Tour of 81-82. Hipwell is remembered as a powerful scrum half with a beautiful long pass and a definitive style that brought an edge to the teams he played in. Classic Wallabies program manager and former Wallabies teammate Jeff Shaw said Hipwell had made a significant impact over almost all of his 20 years of representing Australia. John Hipwell was a Wallaby, a captain, a great bloke and a very close friend of ours, Shaw said. He played for a very long time, made a lot of friends. He will be missed. Previous winners of this John Hipwell medal include Andrew Tuala of the Wanderers in 2014, Steve Lamont's done it twice in 15 and 16, Hamilton's Ratu Dalamente in 2017 and Tom Coupe of Hamilton in 2018. This year, Gaston Park goes to the Hamilton Club's number 8, Jason Kelly.
Congratulations, Jason. I thought you had an outstanding game. Thoroughly deserved.
Thank you very much.
Just stand here for a sec. Come in, kids. Billy. Congratulations on winning a major premiership.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Cheers. Cheers.
Now I'm going to ask the skipper from Hamilton, Steve Lamont, to come across and say a few words.
First of all, I'd like to thank the crowd for coming out and supporting us here today. And the first thirds and seconds probably didn't go our way, but a tribute to the Wanderers and the Greens, a hard fought. To the Wanderers today, great half-court game. There was a minute in that game where we couldn't have ran the whole way through. We kept on digging. Tribute to you guys. Especially great competition throughout the year. And another 50 years tonight to celebrate. So yeah, guys, I really want to thank you all for putting it in for the whole year. It doesn't just go down to the 8 minutes that we played out there today, but it's all those hard efforts when you don't want to get off the deck, and you just keep on pushing. So thank you to our management and our Bubba's entourage. You know, thank you to them all. You know, there's a lot of things go unnoticed in the background that help with the culture that we've built at Hamilton. And I really want to thank everyone that's a part of it. It's a great family club, and thank you.
I would ask our president and our representatives from Rams Homelands, Luke Brown, and Bill Gifton to award the Hamilton Club the major and minor premiership trophies. I've been asked to bring Bubba up. Come on, Bubba, have a go.
Stick that chest out. I wanted to look better up here.
Luke can have the major. Don't take the hammer.
We just did. I don't know, man. Thanks, boys. Thanks, boys. Here we go. Jimmy, come in here. Jump up the stairs. Thanks, guys.
Can I hold the trophy, Daddy?
We're going to do these. All the boys got my hand on. Thanks, Steve. Steve, if you hand that trophy to someone that was walking past, Mr. Tom. And I'll get you to call out your guys, bring them across with the medals to be awarded to each player by Luke Brown from Rams and NHRU President Bill
Stepping up here, Billy? Are you stepping up here?
Yeah. You guys stand them out.
All right, Joey. Backo. G. Chopper. Gus. Liam. Sykesy. Cirilli. Golden Child's back. Chris Hale. Jason. Tommy Coupe. Noah Church. Hamish McKee. Connor. AKA James. Else is there, Bryce. Boys, Chillo. Make yourself seen, boys, with that. And there we go. Nico. Marnie. Bubba. Gus. Ben Mann. Pete Mann. Angus Harper. Ducky. Doug. I don't know how many. Tweety. Sorry, Brad. Am I missing anyone? Big God. Travis. Don't share it. I've called Dane Shirt 3 times. He still hasn't come up, the rude bastard. Thanks again. Thanks, guys. I didn't get one after
We'll get you one. Skipper doesn't get one. Ladies and gents, that concludes our formalities for today. We congratulate both teams. We couldn't have done it without a second team in the top. Wanderers, very well done. But the Hamiltons, the fantastic result, the work, congratulations, and we'll see you all in 2020.
Kids, everyone was just asked one with the team, and then you get a second and you get everyone, all right? Oh, sorry, mate. Players, kids, just out, please.